Clearly no one else was taking care of him. That became apparent pretty quickly when we realised how much time he was spending in the garden, and then he got this wound on his neck that just wasn't getting better. We clearly could tell he had no home.
Come here! Come here!
And he was always hanging around, so, you know, it just breaks your heart. Unless you had food, you couldn't get close to him. If you tried to stroke him while he was just sat in the garden, he'd either run away or he'd swipe at you. You know, he wasn't friendly. He was scared of people. There's obviously something in his past where, I don't know if he's been abused or scared away by other people's houses. My mum had been feeding him quite regularly. The day I showed up, you know, mum was like, oh, you go feed Boysie. And I remember like going out there with a bowl of food and him just being real shocked, like, whoa, hang on, you're not the regular lady. As soon as I put the food down, he timidly came over and started eating. I gave him some pats while he had his head deep in the bowl of food, because that's really the only time you could get close to him. He definitely took a while to warm up to me. We weren't sure about letting Boysie inside to begin with. He was, you know, quite a big tomboy. He had big old manly cheeks, clearly full of testosterone, and we didn't know how our cats were going to react to letting him inside. The dynamics seemed to be working quite well. Our cats inside, Boysie outside. They never really got into any spiffs or fights or anything. We really have no idea how Boysie became a stray, because he's quite old. When we took him to the vets, they estimated him to be around 8 or 9 years old. We got his wound treated and then we got him neutered. After he got neutered, he started spending more and more time in the house, to the point where he just doesn't leave anymore. It wasn't really a choice for us. All it took was one rainy day. He came inside because it was raining, and he decided, yeah, you know what, I could do this more often. And now he barely ever leaves. He sleeps 20 hours a day, I would guess. So from getting him neutered to moving in only took a couple weeks. From us caring for his wound to him, you know, moving to the house and getting microchipped was probably about 6 to 8 months. But prior to that, he'd been living in the garden for at least a year. I mean, we fell in love with Boysie pretty quickly just because of his cute little face. He's a very talkative cat. He's always meowing. You know, when I stick my head out the back door and I call his name, Boysie, he comes running up the garden and he's talking away, lets out all these little meows. He's a very, very cute little boy. The most enjoyable part of having Boysie as our family is just he's always here. I love walking in through the door and just seeing him fast asleep on the bed with his big fluffy belly out. You know, he's quite a big boy. He's got a lot of really soft fur, so he's the perfect cuddle buddy. Boysie really is such a gentle little boy. You know, being a family of cat lovers, how can you not care for something like that? You know, it's not exactly difficult for us to take him to the vets and give him food. You know, it makes a massive difference for him, because without us, he really had nothing.